Good morning to you, our favorite viewers of High Television. You are welcome to the first edition of the week, the program Press Brief, this Monday of the 4th of March 2024. On this program, the peoples always come first. We'll be back to give you what they are saying. Just hang on with us. Once more, if you are joining us, you are on to Press Brief, and on this program, the papers always come first. We start this first and last edition of this first edition for the week, and with Mitas Young for today talks of the Martinez Zogo affair, the paper club, as it was inaugurated last Friday by the managing director of Orange Cameroon, Dr. Patrick Benoit Debord, who was accompanied by the European Union ambassador to Cameroon and the German ambassador and others of the diplomatic mission, who equally accompanied the managing director of Orange Cameroon to the inauguration or opening of that Orange impact in her constituency of Limbe. Editorial addressing the soaring cost of petroleum products in Cameroon. That's the editorial you can read on the Eagle's Eyes newspaper for today. And Honorable Damandam donates boreholes to her to alleviate water scarcity to her constituents in the West region. We crossed over now to Nigeria with the nation. The nation for this day says Nigeria clearing obstacle to invest, says President Tinubu. And in that said paper, aspirant Ayatiwa clash over governor's certificate. And we crossed over to this other story that reports on fire raises 50 acres of palm trees and pineapple worth 150 million naira in Osun State in southwest Nigeria. We remember the Nigerian tabloid for this morning. We take you now to the Punch. The Punch for this day reports on food crisis. It says tight across Nigeria. In that said, the Punch reports Nigerian officials demanding bribes. Tinubu tells the Qatari investors in this Qatari international conference in Doha. We move over to Reps asks airline to refund the sum of 4 billion naira as COVID-19 funds, and driver in custody for killing 10-year-old with vehicle. We take you now to this other story. It says Tombolo canvasses more crude output. NAF destroy illegal refineries in Nigeria. And Senate summoned central bank officials over the sum of 30 trillion naira loans. You can find more on that publication for today. And Vanguard for this morning reports federal government inflation mops up to 5 trillion naira. How Osaba facilitated my emergence as Alec. Get to read more on that said paper. Nigeria Qatar signs agreement on education, solid minerals, others, as Tinubu is in Qatar on that perspective. Only implementation of agreement will stop nationwide strike, according to the Nigerian Labour Congress, and LC will insist on that. And viewers, we move over to the sports paper for this morning. That is Sports Extra for this day. It says man in demand, making reference to the Nigerian keeper of the 2023 Ivory Coast African Cup of Nations. And double impact, the paper talks of Ajuke scores assist in a web big win. You can get with that story. And we move over to Blues fans chant for Moreno, and Red Shield Salah from Egypt call up. Meanwhile, the Manchester derby of yesterday, Manchester City 3 3, Manchester United 1. It was a big day for the citizens who triumphed over there in England in the Premier League as they got their sister team Manchester United beaten last Sunday. The Post newspaper from Poya reports on government resort to intimidation to attempt to reduce youth immigration. According to that paper for today, Bamenda fire incident victim rejects city mayor's call to march on Women's Day as the city mayor of Bamenda, Reverend Pastor Paul Achombong, was canvassing for the women to have their say on the 8th of March 2024 for the International Women's Day celebrations scheduled to take place at the Bamenda Commercial Avenue Grandstand. We move over to Nigeria with Nollywood legend John Okafor amputated due to illness. Get to read details on that paper for today. Anglophone Crisis, the paper reports on the Center for Human Rights and Democracy in Africa, SHADA, makes a fresh call for military separatists to respect civilian rights, according to the ES section of that paper of the Post of late Francis Wache. Le Populi for this morning report on Samuel Etofi's being the sacrificial lamb. Get to read details on that paper of the historic paper of Le Populi for this day. From Le Populi viewers, we crossed over to Echo du Parlement. It says International Women's Day celebrations in Tokomberi, that's the hometown of Kavaige Jibril, Speaker of the National Assembly. The paper reports on how Kavaige Jibril supplied some Women's Day fabric to women from his constituency in the locality of Tokomberi. Get to read details on that paper for today. The Cameroon diaspora will support the National Assembly with her strides in order for them to assist the country to forge ahead when it comes to business and other engagement. L'essentiel for this morning reports on the killing of journalist Martinez Zogo and station manager of Amplitude FM. It says 17 persons have been found guilty of complicity to the kidnapping, torturing, and subsequent killing of the journalist Martinez Zogo. In the Metable Lions, the paper report on the exit of Rigobert Song as head coach of the Cameroon national male football team and what the future holds for the national team. Get to read more intricacies on page 10 to 11 on that publication for today. The visit of President Paul Biya alongside his wife, Madame Chantal Biya, to this eye hospital known as Obak Eye Hospital in the city of Yaoundé yesterday, Sunday. Get to read more on that paper of L'Essentiel for this day. Signal News for this morning reports on the on Osval Bagboke, according to that publication. What the gentleman is doing so far, get to read more on him on that paper for today. We take a stop over with La Nouvelle. La Nouvelle for this morning reports after the pronouncement of guilty verdict on the accused who are accused of masterminding the killing, tortured, and kidnapped of journalist Martinez Zogo. He says general panic reigns in the clan. Get to read more on that publication for today. We take you now to the increase of inter-urban and urban transportation fare in Cameroon. The paper reports on the increase what's on this said sector as Cameroonians are crying foul due to high cost of living. And we take you to something else away from that publication of La Nouvelle. Viewers, we make a stop over with this one on La Meteo. La Meteo reports on Mekobe Sone, the term of the end of the cacophony of the judicial system, as the president of the Supreme Court held this meeting with all judicial experts in the country to brainstorm on how to fix or better provide good services in terms of Cameroon's judicial system. You can find more on him on that publication for today. L'Avenir newspaper for this morning, how Banga Atanganang, that is the Minister of Trade, comes out to preserve social cohesion and peace in the country following the increase of fuel pump prices and increase of the transportation fare in the country. The fight against illicit petroleum circulation in the country. The Ministry of Water Resources and Energy of Gaston Elundo Somba seizes some 28,000 liters of illicit fuel in the country. Get to read more on La Avenue newspaper for today. From La Avenue newspaper, we take you to Le Quotidien for this morning. Report on the inauguration and reopening of the Garoua Central Mosque that was conducted by the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atsanganchi, over there in the North region as he represented President Paul Biya. On the editorial of Le Quotidien, the paper reports on the dissect of the Cameroon National Anthem by Jean Atanganang, editorialist, with the paper of Le Quotidien for today. The visit of President Paul Biya, according to Info Matin for this morning report on presidential elections 2025. It says President Paul Biya launches campaign as he was spotted at this health facility that specializes with the treatment of eyes in Yaoundé. You can find more on that health facility that has been owned by one of the illustrious sons from the southwest region, as it is being described as the best eye hospital in the entire Central African sub-region. Viewers, we move away from that. We talk on Info Show with the illegality of the text, as the mayor is being accused of violating the text that govern the decentralization law in Cameroon, according to Info Show. Get a copy of that paper and read details on that. And the moment of truth for those who have been incarcerated in the build-up to the affairs of Martinez Zogo's killing. The paper reports on the moment of truth, and the political newspaper Expression Politique for this morning report on the extractive industry, why the Cameroonian government was suspended from the ICIE. You can find details on that publication for today. We take a bow out of the studio with the last publication for today. That is Grand Aigle for today. Talks of the International Women's Day. Honorable Noram Fortson Hassana, who comes out with this win-win agreement for women in politics. Just to reiterate, she is a member of parliament on the ticket of the PCRN political party of Cabral Libri. With that paper for today, this is what put a stop on this edition of the program. We're sorry we couldn't have the second part of the